All right, welcome to Leaders Arise. My name is Demola Awoyele. Thank you for being a part of today's broadcast. Before I continue today's session, I want to remind you, some of us must have heard of that before, of our leadership conference titled or tagged Leaders Arise, coming up this Saturday, 1st of October. Actually, we're having two powerful sessions or two powerful editions of the program. The first one is on the 1st of October, Saturday, 1st of October by 9 a.m. and it will take place here in the city of Akure. And guess what? Another edition will be taking place on Monday, 3rd of October, same time, 9 a.m. in the city of Ondo, here in Ondo State. So depending on where you are at or where is closest to you or closer to you, you can join us in Akure, 9 a.m. at Destiny Park Church Auditorium, beside Akure South Local Government Secretariat. So easy to locate, just on the road. On Saturday, 1st of October by 9 a.m. And if you are in Ondo or environs, you want to join us at Destiny Park Church Auditorium at RKY Hotel, 70 Brigadier Demola Awoyele Road, Ondo City. The time also is 9 a.m. on Monday, 3rd of October. Maybe you are not in any of these locations, but you have people, you have friends and loved ones around these locations. Please help extend this invite to them. Tell them to join me and loads of other inspiring and aspiring leaders as we sit and learn and exchange ideas on the subject of leadership. So see you on Leaders Arise. The team is SOA, releasing your potentials and manifesting your destiny. 9 a.m. on Saturday, 1st of October in Akure, 9 a.m. Monday, 3rd of October, which is a public holiday in Ondo City. You will see the details scrolling on your screen or on any of our social media platforms. So let's get started on today's sharing on Leaders Arise. I'm not done with this all-important teaching on imitating effectively. I want to teach you one more thing you are going to take note of if you must succeed at imitating. If you must succeed at imitating. And I want to say this very quickly because perhaps there's a young man, there is a young lady watching me right now who is asking, okay, I've been following my mentor, I've been following this leader that I plan to follow, but I'm not seeing the difference. I'm not seeing a change, or I'm not becoming what I planned or what I thought I would become. Maybe this point I want to share today will shed light on perhaps the reason you are not becoming or the reason you are not manifesting the same thing that you see in the person that you are following. And that will take us to this very, very, very important point that I want to share today. Remember the last episode, I spoke about the place of timing, understanding that the season you are at is different from the season that your mentor or your leader is at. Now, the second point I want to share today is also similar to the subject of timing. All right, it's similar to the subject of timing. And I've called that patience. Patience. For example, if you're a Bible student, you will have read Hebrews 6 verse 12. He said, we should not be slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience obtain the promise. You know, I said it's similar to timing because you need patience in time. All right, one of the things you need to do when you are going through your season or your time is patience. So we should not be slothful, but we should be followers of them who through what? Faith and patience, they obtain the promise. So it means that what your mentor, your leader had become today, he didn't become it overnight. You know, I said it's similar to timing, but I want to speak to it separately and specifically. All right, what your mentor or your leader had become today, he did not become it overnight. That is why that Hebrews 6:12 tells us That it was not only faith that gave them what they had today, it was also patience. Now, why is this important? Because we are in an age of fast everything. Fast food, fast charger. Some of us have phones that they tell you that whatever is charging fast. Microwave this, microwave that. The truth of the matter is destiny cannot be microwaved, else you become roasted. Destiny cannot be microwaved, else your destiny become roasted. What am I saying today? Patience is a necessary requirement in followership. Because the person that became what he became today, became it not overnight. I think this idea of overnight success must be re-evaluated. Because there's this idea, especially among church folks like myself, maybe among prayer people like myself, they will say there's an anointing for overnight success. In fact, sometimes they call it anointing for 24-hour miracle. I have taught that before. I have prayed that before. But that is only as good as a prayer point. And it does happen actually. But the way it happens is that it is a thing that God has been cooking in your life for years that becomes done overnight. It means that if nothing has been cooked overnight, over the years, nothing will be ready overnight. Somebody said Joseph slept as a prisoner today, woke up as a prime minister tomorrow. That is a 24-hour change. That is true. But remember, God had been cooking something in Joseph since he was age 17. That it took 13 years for that thing to become ready. So when you see Joseph as a prime minister, supposedly overnight, you will need to remind yourself that this Joseph had been on a journey, 13 solid years, and he was actually patient with God to take him through the process. When he was thrown in the pit, that was a kind of process. He needed to be patient with God. They took him out, they sold him into slavery, into Potiphar's house. He had to be patient, was lied against, they took him to the prison. You know the story. When you now saw a Joseph that became a prime minister, he didn't become that overnight. And that's why I believe God is sending this teaching directly to young people. All right? Patience is a virtue as far as leadership development is concerned. Patience is a virtue as far as leadership development is concerned. Because some people could not endure the process, they could not endure with patience. All that God was taking them to, they boycotted process. They aborted their own journey. And they are wondering why their life is the way it is today. So anyone that must imitate effectively must receive a special baptism of patience. Patience to go through the process. Patience to learn the lesson. Patience to apply the lesson. Patience to fail and fail and fail and rise and rise and rise up to success. Because you are going to go through a lot of things. So if you are not giving to patience, if you are giving to haste or pressure, I can guarantee you that you cannot become the leader that you are meant to become. All of us need patience. All right, so that's what I want to tell you today, especially some of us who are following inspiring leaders, who are following great people. Understand the place of patience. It is lack of patience that make people to get into fraud, money rituals, and so on. Because you saw an internet sensation on the social media displaying his wealth. Some of them got it maybe legitimately, display their cars, display their this or that, and you are asking yourself, God, when? There is even this language that they just brought up on social media. They said, God, I beg. God, I beg. I beg, give me my own Lexus Jeep. I beg, give me my own Ferrari. I beg, I beg, I beg. As wonderful as it is to pray to God, prayers cannot suspend process. Prayer can only strengthen you to go through the process. Do you know why? You need that process to also be able to handle what success will bring. Some people crash under the weight of success because the process that should have put in them the substance and the stuff to be able to handle the success when it comes, they boycotted that process due to impatience. And that's why I want to encourage you, wherever you are streaming this video today, understand that you cannot become your destiny overnight. That what we call overnight success is actually a success that became done overnight. But the cooking has been for years. Over the years, not overnight. So what people saw as overnight success is actually over the years process that gave rise to the overnight success. And I want to pray for you because I need it, you need it. Especially in a fast-paced society like ours. Especially in a pressure-driven environment. You need some baptism of patience. Patience as far as your marriage is concerned, your ministry is concerned, your career development is concerned, your business is concerned, and your life generally. And as I pray for you that God will baptize you with patience, may you take that patience and go through your process so that you will also become the overnight success that people will talk about today. Don't forget that behind the overnight success is over the years process. Behind the suddenly of God is the patience of man. And when you put patience in the mix of your imitation, you will imitate effectively and successfully, and you would become the leader that God has ordained you to become. Thank you for being a part of today's broadcast. This is Leaders Arise, and my name is Demola Awoyele. Let me remind you again that this Saturday, 1st of October, 9 a.m. in the city of Akure, we will be holding our special Leaders Arise conference. Awesome time of learning, relearning, unlearning, and empowerment. So get set for that life-changing meeting. Tell everyone that you know in the city of Akure to join us at Destiny Impact Church beside Akure South Local Government Secretariat in the city of Akure. And of course, on Monday, 3rd of October, all the road leads to Ondo City at RKY Hotel, their conference hall, 70 Brigadier Demola Awoyele Road, Ondo City, where we get to host the Ondo edition of that life-changing conference. The registration is free, but you have got to register. The attendance is free, but you have got to register. You will see the details of registration on your screen. If you know anybody, whether in Akure or Ondo or environ, help me extend this invite to them as we look forward to a great time of learning and impartation. Thank you for joining me on today's broadcast. Help me like this page if you have not. Subscribe to this channel if you are on YouTube. Share this video everywhere that you can share so that somebody else can be blessed. And of course, let me have your questions, your comments, or feedback as we learn together. I look forward to another amazing moment with you at the next episode of Leaders Arise. Go right there. Become the leader that you have been ordained to become. Bye for now.